What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. So today we're going to talk about this coin, Shiba Inu, and a lot of people want to hear if it's going to go to a penny. And I talked about this in my previous video, if it was going to make a penny, if it was going to make a dollar, what are we going to see? Where will this price end up going? All of the details with this coin, the movement that it did have today, and just my overall thoughts about the coin. Now, Shiba Inu, is labeled as the Dogecoin killer, and it's getting closer and closer when it comes to that market cap level, because right now I think Dogecoin's market cap is somewhere around 20 to 30 billion. I think that's the case. It might be 30 billion. I would have to double check. But, Shiba Inu is not too far away now. You're seeing it at 20 billion, 18.8 billion here. And at a high, it was a lot higher. You could see that it has that growth potential, based on some of the top performing cryptos, some ones that are very popular, you see them up in those higher market caps. So seeing one that's moving with so much popularity and still staying at a lower market cap than what you would see in average is definitely interesting. But guys, before we get started, make sure you guys hit that like button, also hit the subscribe button for more videos like this one, and make sure you check out my link in the description for my Discord group and my Patreon. If you guys want to sign up for just the Discord group, you can definitely do that. If you have any success stories with Shiba Inu, let me know in the Discord group so that I can share it with everybody, on my MP Shorts channel, because I have a Shorts channel that I upload different content to, and I would love to share some profits that you guys have if you have some larger profits. But Shiba Inu grew over, 50 million, 50.1 million %. That is insane to see that growth from November to October is insane. You could see how flat it was. And if anybody had the luxury of getting in at this point, you definitely made a ton of money getting up to where it is now. Whether you invested $1,000, $10,000, whatever it is, you're definitely gaining a decent amount. And I don't know if that person sold what they initially had or, sold off everything. I would imagine if it was me, I always pull some off the top. So if I'm growing, 50 million %, right? And I don't even know if that can't be a real number, right? That's huge. If you grew that much percentage, right? You can take off 100%, whatever you put in there. You can take out $1,000 at this point and say, okay, I'm happy with, what I had there. I'm going to take out $1,000. I have a bunch of profit. If it comes back on me, whatever, I gained a ton out of it. Now I can wait for this to grow, let it continue to push on and gain a ton out of that position if they burn off some positions, but we will get into that in a little bit. But yeah, we look at the growth today, and you could see that it got closer to 0.00005 cents, which is where everybody wants to get to, right? That's that next milestone. It did resist around 0.000049 cents. And it fell back a little bit, but started to increase a little bit more. You could see here that the market cap, like I said, is 18.8 billion. You can see the popularity is at 9. That's crazy to see that on Coinbase, even though the typical hold time is kind of low. The typical hold time is 16 days, which typically with a lot of popular positions with that list in the top 10, you're going to see the hold time from 30 to 70 days, some even 80 days. Like I think Bitcoin is around 80, 83 days or something like that. So typically you'll see that a lot higher, but you have so much circulating supply and so much room for people to make those moves that I would imagine you would see sell-offs here and there. And that's exactly what you see. You see strong resistance points. The more circulating supply you have, the more resistance points you are going to have, especially with, selling a larger amount. It's going to decrease the price quite significantly. But good thing is we're seeing a crazy amount of volume, still up 20%. We're seeing $10.5 billion worth of volume in the last 24 hours alone. That is huge. And like I said, $18.8 billion market cap. Now let's look at my position just to show you exactly what I have, because I always like to be as transparent as possible. Currently, I'm holding 11 million. And that's about $526 worth. It's not a lot. It's not a crazy amount. I do like what they're doing. I do like the growth because I did already or close to double what I invested. But I didn't get in early enough. I wanted to get in like really, really early, and I didn't get in early enough. So a little bit not happy about that. Couldn't think of words right there. But I'm definitely not happy about that. But I'm okay with what I'm holding. This makes me value what I am holding at $500, holding 11 million. I'm ready to hold this thing until it does end up making a large move. And if they do make that large move. Now, I talked about this in the past that when you look at Shiba Inu coin, when you look at, I don't know if it's token or coin, when you look at Shiba Inu, you're going to see that the circulating supply is the thing that stands out, right? If you compare that to Bitcoin, you understand 21 million versus 394 trillion is a huge difference, right? It's not even worrying about the billion in between. It's in the trillions and hundreds of trillions at that. So it's definitely a large difference, which means that people will say, oh, well, look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin got up to $67,000, right? Well, Shiba Inu coin cannot get up to $67,000. The reason being is because of market cap. The amount that's actually out there, it would just be it would be horrible for the overall situation of the crypto market, of markets in general, right? That would mean if this got up to $1, it would be $394 trillion market cap. Right now, the market cap of crypto as a whole is like 3.4 or something like that trillion. So seeing that not only double or triple or quadruple, but so many times multiplied, it's just going to be ridiculous. So it's too much, right? Now, the way that you can see that end up making a move or coming to a level to where the circulating supply decreases so that that price ends up increasing, right? Based on the market cap, right? The market cap can stay the same, but if that circulating supply decreases, that price will essentially increase to keep the market cap where it actually is, right? Now, if both of them end up decreasing, right, you see the market cap end up decreasing as well, but you give a lot more room or potential for that to grow, right? If you add on all of the supply that's out there, which is 1 quadrillion, then you end up getting into a situation where it comes down even more. But from what I'm understanding, that I don't believe that can happen to where everything is introduced there. But anyways, Shiba Inu, if this is the situation, right? If people wanted to get to 1 penny where it currently is, if people wanted to get to 1 single penny where it currently is, you're probably going to need this to come down to about 100 trillion. No, you're probably going to need less than that. 10 trillion tokens, and then you'll be able to see that reasonably get to 1 penny. If it does not find a way to come down to that level, then you will not see a reasonable way for that to get to that point. Now, if you could find a way for it to get to 100, let's say 100 quadrillion, that's still, or 100 trillion, that's still high. Still a large amount of circulating supply, which means you would have to burn off, 300 trillion supply. Then you would get to a level to where you can say, not at a reasonable, but at a reach standpoint, you can get to that level. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you guys. So for the people who haven't seen my channel and see what I talk about, I have a spreadsheet here where I build a lot of things together. And right now you can see here at the $394 trillion or 394 trillion supply, if it was at 1 single penny, right, that's $3.9 trillion. That's not insane, but then again, it is, because Bitcoin gets to $1 trillion and people are excited, but this gets to 4 times that and people will get obviously way more excited, which you kind of can't do because the supply is so high, right? Now, if they end up burning off some of the supply and get to a level of 99 trillion instead of seeing 394 trillion at 1 penny, you can see a $1 trillion market cap, which is doable. It's still a reach, but it's doable. Now, if you get to a level to where it's 10 trillion, right? 10 trillion coins at 1 penny, that's $100 billion, which is at the level of where Dogecoin got to, XRP got to, Cardano got to. It's definitely doable at that moment, right? That's a level where you're like, okay, this can definitely get there. But if without a burn, I think this will not be something where we can say it reasonably can get to 1 penny, it reasonably can get to $1. So you never know what could happen. You could see it burn off. You could see them just implement something out of nowhere and say, we're burning off 90% of the coins, right? If they burn off 90% of the coins, then we're set. No, I guess we're set for life, right? Whoever has millions of coins, you're set for a long period of time to be able to put that money into different places. It'll just be really good for you, really good for everybody that's in your life, right? But yeah, I mean, there's definitely a possibility, and I won't say that it will not happen, because anything could happen. And especially with time, this is something that I'm going to hold on to. I have 11 million coins, and people will say that's a little bit, but I'm happy with the 11 million coins, and I'm going to hold on to that for a long period of time, whether that turns to nothing or it actually turns to something pretty big. Because remember, I only put in $200, and right now, or it's $270. So I nearly doubled my investment. On typical investments, I will take that. With things that have as much potential as something that Shiba and the community that's behind it has, it could be very, very big. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about there. It's definitely something to look at, something to keep an eye on, because it still has room to grow. If you notice here, it can get up to, I would say, a reasonable number for market cap would probably be $50 billion. So let's go back to the Excel spreadsheet and just try and find a level to where we can get to $50 billion. If we see it at the current supply, 0.0001 would be at 39.4 billion dollars. Now that's not a crazy high level. That is to a level to where we're excited that it has that growth, and whatever you're holding, you're seeing maybe a 10x. You're seeing maybe even more of a multiplier there, right? And even to a point to where it gets to 0.0002, right? You're seeing 78 billion. So you can realistically look at a level to where, let's compare it to that top level where altcoins get to of $100 billion, and say that this is the level that we want it to get to. Right here, this level 0.0003, or probably more realistically 0.00025. And then you're seeing it at about $100 billion, which means that currently holding 11 million for me, that would be a multiplier of, I would look at $2,750, which is definitely big off of a $270 investment. So I'm happy with what I have there, and it could be a lot bigger depending on what we do see there. If it gets to 1 penny, it could be 227. Sometimes I can't do math. Sometimes, and sometimes it's just on the spot. So yeah, 110. Oh yeah, I have 11 million. So that's easy math. $110,000 if it gets to 1 penny, but it's definitely an outside chance that it would. So let me know your opinion on Shiba Inu. I always like to talk about it. I always like to get your opinions on things. I know it is a 13-minute video, and hopefully you did watch to this point, but make sure you guys hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.